I'm utterly obsessed with these adorable cookies, and you will be too. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. So I'm going to be using a projector and a Moo-dorable cow cookie inspiration I found online to pipe these sweet royal icing transfers. I'm using a self-sealing cookie bag and a cake scraper, and I'm just going to remove the sticky part of the self-sealing bag and attach to this cake scraper so I can easily move my transfer around. And then I'll pipe my transfer right on top of this cookie bag. I'm using a 15-second consistency white icing to outline Bessie here. The only other tools I'll need are my paintbrush and a scribe. So I dampened my paintbrush with a little bit of water, and then I wiped off all the excess. I'm just pushing my line over here until it's perfect. And now that the outline is fixed, I'll use the same 15-second icing to flood in Bessie's little face. And once I finish flooding in Bessie's face, I'll use my scribe to settle the icing down, and then I'll set Bessie aside to dry until the icing crusts over. After the face crusts, it's time to give Bessie her irresistible little ears with a wet-on-wet technique. So I'm outlining the ear in a brown royal icing and then immediately grabbing my white royal icing and filling in the center part of that ear, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Outline the ear in brown and then flood in the center with the white and use your scribe to settle it down. Next, I'm going to give Bessie some hair because we want her to look moveless. So using my brown royal icing in a 15-second consistency, I'm just going to outline and flood in the hair. Once again, using my scribe to settle it down and shape it the way I need it to be. And I want to make sure I get it over the top here, so I'm just going to turn my tray around and fix the icing. Then I'll turn my projector back on, and I'm just going to make basically a figure 8 here for her snout, or you can just make 2 circles and then use your scribe to settle that icing down. And then let's add that final jingle of cuteness with a collar and a cowbell. So using your brown royal icing, just pipe a couple of lines right underneath her chin here and fill that in. Use your scribe to shape it as needed. And then I also used my paintbrush to kind of square off the edges over here. And then I'm going to take my yellow icing and just pipe a little triangle for the cowbell and a little line to attach it to the collar. Now this bell is a little thin little part, and when I peel this off the back or to put it on my cookie, it might break off, but if it does, we'll just pipe it right onto the cookie. Set Bessie aside to dry until she dries completely, and then I came back in with some edible paint, and I'm just going to paint her snout pink and give her a little blush. We want Bessie to look beautiful, so let's make sure she has some rosy cheeks. And then I'll grab my edible marker and I'll just give her a little mouth and some eyes and some eyebrows, and this cookie will be done. And as always, I will leave links in the description of all of the products I used. And that's it. Bessie is looking legendary. Now let's move her over onto the cookie. So I have a 2-inch round cookie here, and I'm just going to outline and flood it in with a 15-second icing in kind of a beigey tan color. And outlining a circle cookie can be difficult sometimes, so you're going to want to touch down with your piping bag, slightly lift up as you go around, and watch your line of icing where it's falling rather than your piping bag. And then flood that in, and then I'm just going to use my scribe to get my icing all the way out to the edge so that it doesn't overflow. And now that my cookie is ready, I'm going to carefully peel Bessie off of the backing here. Hopefully I don't break off her collar or her ears. And then I'm just going to drop this right into that wet icing, and then I can use my scribe to move it over a little bit if I need to. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you had an amazing time making these transfers. And if you're utterly in love with these cows, please give this video a like and share it with your cookie herd. See you in the next one.